Post it. Published. Published. Ah, shucks. Tuesday. November. Right, that's that. This one. Come on, man. What's happening? Okay, there. 3 minutes into the laptop. And that in front of me. And also it's ready to go on. Where's the camera gone? The camera is back again. There's the camera. Go live. Okay, we're going live. 3, 2, 1. Away we go. On live we're starting on the desktop. In a minute I'm going to ring the speaker Submarine in Denmark, COWI, engineering design engineers for the MOAI tidal turbine energy project that I've been on with him 2012, and our plans he has to build the big tidal turbine project hydrogen economy in Holland, Dutch engineers and experts on building superstructures, steel structures in the sea and undersea highways and between France and England and in South Korea as well, on the islands, between the islands there as well, subway or highway in the bottom underneath the ocean, and we want them to build our tidal turbines projects in the world, starting with New Zealand and Pacific Islands, and also in Denmark and Europe and England, Scotland and Ireland, and our projects with them and the design of the big tidal turbine, mega power and tidal moon tides and hydraulic power of the oceans converted to electricity and split the seawater into hydrogen, oxygen for jet fuel and rocket fuel, mass production, bulk purchasing power. Okay, so now I'm going to ring the number of Paz Peter, Sobi, file frame in Denmark that I've been talking to for a few years. Okay, so that other phone number I'm going to ring is the Austrian company, MIGALOO, the big super submarine, the most expensive submarine in the world, and 2.3 billion worth. I'm going to ring him up too to come and join our project in the sea. Okay, so now we've got COWI to call. Look at his number. Here it is. And that's the speed of Sobi. There's a number there. I'll call that number, headquarters in Denmark, right now. Get on the phone and bring this microphone here for the laptop and make sure I've got that in my hand when I call. turned me down, and so has every other money laundering company in Singapore, Australian Banking Association, New Zealand and Europe. The big crypto companies there that are coming down hard on money laundering and Phoenix activity, and the way the crypto is going in the UK and the way the crypto is going in America are two separate law systems of making money, with fraud £1 note and legal, legitimate £2 note, which we have. That's going to make waves soon. Okay, so here we go. We'll get the number to call Les Peters, Sophie, or the new CEO. Oh, here we go. I'm going to make sure I've got the right way to call. Oh, plus. See if this goes through. Here we go. Welcome to COWI. Thank you for your call. Please hold, and one of our agents will answer your call shortly. Hello, my name is John Wanoa. I'm an engineer and business in New Zealand, and I've been working with Les Peter Sobe of COWI, and now he has retired and left the business for another CEO. I can speak to Peter, Les Peter, if he's around. He would know my name and what association I have with him and our big engineering project. Pardon? Yeah, what's the last name of Peter? Sobe, S-O-Y-B-E. Sobe, he's the founder of COWI. He's the founder. He's retired. Yes, that's all right. Okay, so now can I speak to Jens Mojigard Christopherson? He's the executive CEO and president of the COWI. Yeah. I need to speak to... We cannot forward your call. Yes, please. I will try to connect you to the secretary, okay? Yes, thank you very much. Hello, it's John Wanoa here in New Zealand. I'm a design engineer for TIDAL turbine project I have with COWI, and your original CEO or founder, Les Peter Sobe. So now I need to speak to the president or CEO of COWI with my project here in New Zealand and Pacific Islands. And with hydrogen economy, I have great plans with COWI and with also other companies that can do this sort of mass production of hydrogen, jet fuel, rocket fuel. I have the right plans for that with COWI, and wondered if I can speak to an engineer there or someone in the hydrogen fuel side of the business of COWI, and underwater in the sea operations that I want to partner with here in New Zealand as a 50-year research company and original engineering here on a project that you may be interested or think you are interested in. Please, I'll fill in your email and some particulars so we can join up with somebody there. I will try to get back to someone that I can talk to tonight. I'll leave this message with you and call me New Zealand +64 21 078 2523 mobile phone John Wanoa. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll wait for your call. Now I'll just call back again, see if my call is still connected. That was just an answer phone, it's still running. The call is still running. I'm waiting for it to save or go back to the operator in Denmark. I'm still connected to the phone to Denmark on the answer machine and waiting for it to end the answer machine and call them back again. It's still running on the answer machine. I'm waiting for it to end. When the phone call is still connected, I'll just wait for a couple more minutes and then call them back. Now I'll end the call now and then call them back. The call is ended and I'll just go back to ring them back again.
Welcome to COWI. Thank you for your call. Please hold, and one of our agents will answer your call shortly.
Yes, look, I rang you a minute ago and I got an answer phone. I wondered if it's John Wanoa, engineer and from New Zealand, and I'm trying to talk to someone in the power generation field there, a CEO in COWI, that's design engineer for tidal turbine projects. If I can speak to someone there, yes. Yeah, so can I speak to your design engineer, CEO of projects, of tidal turbine projects in the ocean? The design. Okay, yes, please. I'll try one more time. Otherwise, I'll fill out the form on your website and connect that way. If it, yeah, I will do that. I will go to the website and do it from there. What is your name? What's your name? Thank you. Yes. Yes, hi, it's John Wanoa, CEO and Director of a company here in New Zealand that have um, original design engineering connections with COWI, and I want to leave a message and email with you on your website to connect up with you and go back into our tidal turbine projects, and that's a major scale of energy that I want to share with you once again. Okay, so my number here in New Zealand is +64 21 078 2523, but I'll fill out your application form and make a connection to the CEO secretary of your CEO James Hogarth Christensen, President of the group, CEO of COWI, or Natalie Severin Rice, Executive CFO of COWI and Secretary, and try and get in touch with your design engineers and our big tidal turbine project, putting out mass power from the tides in the sea. I've got the best plan in the world to do it with you, and ready to go. And with Dutch, New Zealand, and Easter Island, that's my ancestral lands, and I'm the CEO of and President of the Confederation of United Tribes of New Zealand and Pacific Islands, Polynesian countries, and Easter Island. So there's something of me. You'll see it on my website when I send all the information to you to connect up with us once again. That was back in 2012. We're back to square one now with some equity behind us. Okay? Thank you very much. John Wanoa in New Zealand. Bye for now. It's Thursday, the 21st of November 2024, and it's after 9 o'clock opening in Denmark, and we want to make some connection with you and also other companies, including MIGALOO in Austria with the submarines, the big submarines. We got an interest in that too, as well as JP Morgan in America to get behind this project and us with the best plans for tidal turbine and the hydrogen economy in the world. Okay, so John Wanoa will get in touch with the CEO of COWI and pick up where we were in 2012 with this project. We had no money back then, now we have the equity to do it, and the trillion. So, okay, thank you very much. See you later. Bye. We're still going live, and I'll turn off the phone and connect to their website and leave messages behind this. So the call is ended. I've just terminated the call. Time now is 11:33 p.m. Not quite midnight here in New Zealand, and about 9:30 in Denmark. So now I'm going to ring MIGALOO, the Austrian company with the big submarine, the most expensive submarine in the world, that we want to use for our MOAI tidal turbine project with COWI, the company design engineers of big steel structures in the sea, including the highways underneath the ocean between France and England, and also in South Korea under the sea there, and long tunnels of highways going under the sea. Okay, we want to do a project that COWI took on with me and PricewaterhouseCoopers here, accountants in New Zealand, and Chris Taylor, and also the power companies, Transpower, New Zealand, Vector, in the Kaipara Harbour, and also Contact Energy. Three big companies here in the power generation field want this power in the sea in mega construction of a platform bridge in the middle of the ocean that's miles long and wide, where aircraft land and fill up with hydrogen made from seawater, turned into electricity and split the seawater into hydrogen and oxygen, and then bottled, put in the aircraft and flown quite sustainably and cheaply around the world from one bridge to another, and connecting the whole refrigeration of products that we can fly around the world on hydrogen next to no cost at all, and shareholders in the business. Okay, so that's that with COWI, and we'll leave that one and ring MIGALOO and their CEO and founder, Christian GUMPOLD, the owner of MIGALOO. That's the biggest, most expensive submarine in the world, and its size is quite phenomenal, and also its purpose for running in the ocean. And I've got its measurements here somewhere. I can't find it. Submarine, Yuacht, and MIGALOO, and the phone number will ring in a second, but I'm just trying to find its dimensions, and I've put it down somewhere, and I'm trying to find it where I stuck it a minute ago. No, that's Jamie Diamond. I'm going to ring him later on in America, New York. Design. Where's the page? I've got it. It might be this one, no, not that one. Look over here. Gosh, I had it a minute ago. I put it somewhere. Now I can't find it. The size of the yacht. I wrote it all down. It's about 165 meters long submarine that's capable of going down 250 meters deep, and also it carries a fair bit of equipment inside it, the submarine, and about 25 people running it, and also the research for deep sea operations and research. So there we want to purchase that because we're talking trillions of money in partnership with the biggest companies in the world that know hydrogen economy and the big tidal turbines of MOAI Crown here in New Zealand and in Westminster, in London. Okay, so we're going along with the material list. Here's the size. Christian GUMPOLD, CEO and founder of MIGALOO Submarine Super Yacht, 165.8 meters long, 23 meters wide, draft is 8.6 meters, range is 15,000 kilometers, depth of 250 meters. That's how deep it can go. And we're going to use it for in the Kermadec Trench and the Rainford Bank tidal turbine platform bridge production and contracts with COWI design engineers. They've already got the plans for this in 2012. And Peter Sobe, he's left the company now and has gone into another company that's the parent company of COWI as the founder, and he's taken the company a stage further with making the owners, shareholders of the company as shareholders, B shares and his A shares, and that's how I'm running the MOAI Crown business in the tidal energy, the same as his plans, comparable with the Dutch, and they found New Zealand. Dutch King William III of Orange, 1689, and the Bank of England Act, King William III of Orange, 1694 Bank of England Act, and the two-bar pound note act of King William III of Orange, Dutchman, and our partner with this project here, and the Danish brains of the sea, and tidal turbine, and also the brains of the mortgage liens and banks and pound note, and now our system of power generation from hydraulics of the sea, ocean, deep at the bottom of the ocean, where the power is in the roughest seas. So we're going off Ranfurly Bank at the East Cape, New Zealand, and then we're going down to the west coast in the roughest seas, and where no one goes, no ships go, and that's the best place to put these big turbines. And the design engineers have to build it that strong that it'll put up with all the hydraulic force at the bottom of the ocean. We are harnessing in tetrawatts and megawatts of power that turns over 55 billion US dollars a year on one bridge. We're making 60 of these bridges in the Pacific alone, and right to the world in 257 native countries with our native land title transfer from New Zealand into the Westminster Parliament and King William III of Orange, and then spread to all 257 countries in the world, our native title land ownership, and also the Dutch ownership of the Bank of England and the pound note, 2 bar, not the 1 bar, that's Rothschild's corporate fraud criminal, convicted criminals in Australia, New South Wales, came to New Zealand and bought their rubbish here and trying to run the world from a system of corruption and fraud. And that goes from the single pound note, 1 bar pound note, to the US dollar, fiat, fake money, invisible, paper thin, useless money, to the crypto, Bitcoin, and all that is fiat currency, still tied up with money laundering, corruption, and Phoenix activity of bad politics and bad business that we're trying to steer clear of and make our own way back to the beginning of the King's Emperor's title, which I'm holding as surrogate King William III of Orange, and the surrogate King William IV with our flag, 1835 founding of New Zealand flag, and also the Municipal Corporations Act to pick up the rent on the land and leases, and that's what we're doing with this 17 trillion of King George IV, the brother, and his contract with Paramount Chief Tera Waikato for the Here Manukau. I'm his surrogate as well for the native titles of Rewharewha Manukau and 1862 Native Land Act of New Zealand that went to Britain and to all the other Commonwealth countries in the world, the native land title transfer through the Freemasons into Scotland and back into Singapore. What's the fraud, money laundering, and then distributed into Australia, 303 companies, shelf companies of Edie Mitchell, the Mitchell Family Trust, stole all that from me, 17 trillion. I'm sticking it up as equity to go with the Denmark company, COWI, and their director here, I'm just called up just a minute ago, and then put this equity in there to get us going with Denmark and the Dutch brain. Okay, the Dutch brain that stuck the energy projects together in the sea, and all the designs of all those Chinese big buildings and big ocean construction, steel construction, roads, rail, and everything that's major in the cities, and all the design came from Denmark. Brains of the Dutchman that found New Zealand, land, and found Easter Island, Rapa Nui, Polynesian, Makemake planet, dwarf planet out there in the universe, is part of our MOAI history and traditional titles to all native countries in the world, waiting for us to kick off the rest of them and with the Rothschild families and what's happening with the Muslims taking over Britain. We're going back in there to clean them out and take it back to the Church of England, which is on our land blocks in TIDAL, East Cape, and to Rapa Nui, East Island, the MOAI statue standing in London. That's my title to my Wānoa royal Tahitian family in Rapa Nui, and the birth of the world there, and the birth of New Zealand at Te Pito, the birthplace of New Zealand, and its power at East Cape, Te Pito there, to Te Pito, East Island, and that connection to London, where the Moai is standing, got stolen. Our memorial, that belongs to my royal family in Tahiti, and we're sticking that all together with this project to make the biggest power project in the world with tidal turbine and the moon tides of rough seas and rougher the better. And the construction must stand up to all that hydraulic power of the ocean tides. Okay, so we're there with that, and we'll just keep this rolling along to ring MIGALOO, the submarine. We need to get that submarine to come and go down and observe and the tidal turbine platform bridge that's 4 kilometres long. We can make it longer. We can double the size or triple the size, make it longer and longer if we want to get more hydrogen out of the sea. Make it wider. It's 100 metres wide, 4 kilometres long. Pulls out 55 billion profit a year, and even with the 17 trillion that Edie Mitchell has stolen from my brain, which is the Tahitian brain and the Dutchman's brain, and also the Rogan judges of the native land court in Helensville. Freemasons is in my brain. The Rogan family married the Moriori Manukau family, and they've married the Wānoa at the East Cape on our family as well. And the Cosgrove lawyers and Governor General of Australia married my family, come from Ireland, and Scots come from Glasgow and Edinburgh. And I'm going there to sort that lot out too, because I gave 3 sticks to Eddie to take to Scotland and Edinburgh to see if the contract's still valid. Once the Freemason went with Eddie Mitchell's barrister to check my titles to see if they're real. Once they saw the money, they grabbed it and took off with it. So we're going after the money. And also the Tukitaki money laundering company, recovery company in Singapore, did nothing. They did absolutely nothing to investigate Eddie Mitchell in Singapore, and I found that he was in Australia and bought 17 trillion bucks worth of real estate, malls, shops, homes, businesses in Australia, investment companies, with the 17 trillion from my Irish, Scottish brain and my Dutch brain here, and took over the money, and I'm going to get it back and use it with the Danish company and the engineers I've been working with since 2012, and way back as far as 2008 with Mohi Manukau, the Manukau family of the Freemasons. He's 50-year Freemason. He's in my brain. Okay, I live with his brother, Tony, in Helensville on Russell Street, and we were flying the flag on 20 Commercial Street. That's where the courthouse was. The Native Magistrate Bank of Awaroa courthouse that turned into the BNZ Bank. And I was trying to tell the BNZ Bank yesterday with their managers of money laundering that the BNZ was started from Helensville with my friends and Paramount Chief Mohi Tamaki Manukau, and they were married by the Rogan judges in that courthouse and the Confederation of the United Tribes of New Zealand Aotea, and not the Confederation, not the Declaration of Independence at Waitangi. That's not where the money is. The money is in Helensville, in the bank. The bank is not up north. They chopped the flag down, burnt the courthouse, and then the British said, stuff here. We're going to Helensville and we'll set up business over there. And that's where I'm at. The mortgage debt instruments are turning into credit instruments, and the Moai chip coin to bang out the cryptocurrency and dissolve it and liquidate it and bankrupt them into oblivion. Okay, that's what's going to happen with the Dutch company and the King and Queen of Denmark come here as our partners and ownership of New Zealand lease lands and boot those pirates all off the land, including Eddie Mitchell and his family, back to England where they come from. Okay, they can go back where they come from, Australia, and go backwards, follow the ship backwards, and you'll come to a pile of money. And that belongs to us. We're the first party of a two-party contract with the British Crown and UK Parliament under the Emperor Kings, which I'm the surrogate king of. King Ernest Augustus I, his brother, King William IV, and his brother, King George IV, the lease owner of New Zealand, and all the rest of 257 native countries in the world waiting for us to kick this thing off with the Dutchman. Okay? The Dutchman and the Thais and goes together with the MOAI statue standing in London. That is my title to the whole world. The birth of this world at Te Pito, the Pito, your birth naval in Rapa Nui, East Island, to Te Pito at the East Cape, where on my land blocks at the East Cape Lighthouse, and the Admiralty court-martial law on anybody who gets in the road of our contract with the British original court of record in the High Court, the Money Court, and the mortgage lands, and bankruptcy, foreclosure instruments of the first party, Moai Crown, King William III of Orange, Trust, and the Moai Crown, King George IV Trust, and Moai Crown, King William IV Trust, and Moai Crown, Queen Victoria Trust, 1844, and Moai Crown, King Ernest Augustus V, living in London right now as our monarch of Westminster Parliament and owner of occupier of Buckingham Palace. And I'm going to Edinburgh to take that castle over and my native family in Tahiti and Rapa Nui and Raiatea Island. Okay, that's our title in that castle that made all your possible titles to any piece of land to turn it into money as an exchange of titles from the native land chiefs to the British Crown kings, not the Queen. She didn't do any of this going around the world to pick up all the native lands. She just stole a whole lot and stole my Moai statue from East Island and carted it off to England. The Dutchmen didn't touch it. They found East Island first, then the Queen went in and robbed the whole place and turned it upside down and knocked all the Moais over, and we had to put them all back together, and now we're claiming the Moai and the land that he stands on belongs to us. The first party and the British Crown and Westminster is the second party. They were the first and they ran away and defaulted on our contract. Anybody that's in the road of our contract will get a pound note on the head, no less than $1 trillion at a piece. And anybody that's in charge of parliaments and governments that are screwing the law will get 1,000 trillion plus on their head and bankrupted on the spot. Okay, you'll get a mortgage lien on your head because my job is a mortgage broker and also liquidator and banker. The MOAI Powerhouse Bank, and anybody that's going to buy the MOAI Power Note instrument for 3% and retail it, trade it at 5%. And at the moment, the banks are 7%, will go out of business. The oil business will disappear, and the hydrogen economy will take over the economy. Okay, that's how it works. And now I'm going to ring the biggest submarine, the most expensive yacht submarine in the world, the MIGALOO, and its size, 165.5 meters long, and it's got everything in it, and livable under the sea for 4 months at a time, 4 weeks at a time, 4 weeks at a time. Okay, it stays under that long, and it's got a long range under the sea and plenty of power. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to ring Christian GUMPOLD, the CEO and founder of MIGALOO Submarine Super Yacht. Here goes. Where's the phone? Yep. Let's get on the phone. Let's see if it works. Talk to the big man himself. We're still recording on the laptop, and we're still recording on the desktop, and I've got the mic working on the desktop, and this mic working on the laptop. Okay, here we go. Find the phone. Right here. No, I missed it. Keep it. There's the keypad. Put the number. We're going to ring New York after. Jamie Garden, CEO of JP Morgan Bank. Okay, here we go. Yep, it's going. Put the mic over here.
Willkommen in der Mailbox von Christian GUMPOLD. Hinterlassen Sie bitte eine Nachricht nach dem Signalton.
Hello, it's John Wanoa here. I'm a director from a company in New Zealand. Wish to speak to your CEO founder of MIGALOO, Christian GUMPOLD, and I'll leave my number there to give me a call. Urgent, please. I have some business to do with you and to purchase your super yacht for our TIDAL turbine project with Denmark and also with America and JP Morgan banks. And we have equity to do it with, and I'd like to discuss this with Christian GUMPOLD and how we're going to propose to use your super yacht for tidal turbine hydrogen economy, and to have experts from your company to work with us in the biggest project in the world, with me as the Confederation of United Tribes of New Zealand, Aotea country, and also the Pacific Islands, and Tahiti as a wanoa, Royal Tahitian family, with the MOAI statue standing there, and standing in the most powerful countries in the world, including there in London and New York, and in other countries where the MOAI is standing, Singapore, and maybe in your Denmark country as well. That's my title to the Earth planet and its moon tides. So we'd love to talk to you and talk business on a grand scale of ideas. We've got the ideas, had them for a long time with COWI, COWI, and their director and founder, Lars Peter Sobai, Lars Peter Sobai, and the new executive of the company I've just rang up to get in touch with them and you, and with Jamie Dimon, the director of JP Morgan Chase Bank, and to get business going on a grand scale and with all the best equipment, the best people, the best brains, and us the best ideas of tidal turbine and the hydrogen fuel from sea power to spend time with you to talk about that when I get the chance. I'll go onto your website, leave my details and my website so we can get something going right now because I've got property and billions to spend next week, Monday. Auctions on land in New Zealand that are super projects that I want you involved right away. Urgent, as soon as possible, please. Get in touch with me, John Hoani Kahaki Wanoa. I'm the CEO, director of a company here in New Zealand, and so we'll get back to you soon. Okay, thank you. The phone went off, so that's already got something going, and the phone I heard it go off. So there, that's gone through, and I'll get onto the website with them, and we'll just see what the time is in New York for Jamie Diamond and the director of the JP Morgan Chase Bank, and I'll ring him up afterwards. I'll see what the time is. Now, I'll just have a look. What is the time in New York right now? Should be 6 hours later. I'll ring at midnight. It's getting close to that now. Time in New York. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, so I've got another 5 hours to ring Jamie Diamond. 5 hours to call Jamie Diamond. You know what he said? He said Bitcoin is a hyped up fraud. He's right. He's dead right. It is a fraud. The whole thing is a scam. Jamie Diamond. New York. York is 4 a.m. right now. So there, people, I've just got him lined up next. So we've got 3 CEOs and the CEO ready to go in this project because we've run out of patience, run out of time with the banks, have gone together in the fraud. They're all in the fraud with the $1 pound note and the US dollar. That's gone to rubbish. And their crypto is going to rubbish too. It's got a problem with the British Crown and their tax law systems of money laundering and Phoenix activity and also Bitcoin. They have a problem with the US way of doing business for themselves and not for anybody else. But their hyped up system of one world order and one bar system of British pound note under Rothschilds that didn't get the royal patent, so Westminster Parliament went underneath, out the side, back door, and they did the $1 pound note because they couldn't buy the $2 original pound note of the Patterson family. So they made their own $1 pound note that was fraudulent right from the start. Okay, when they first did it and made a lot of money from fraud and corruption, and they're still fraud and corrupted. The whole of the New Zealand government is fraud and corrupted, and so is Eddie Mitchell, the Mitchell Family Trust, the biggest corporate fraud scammers in the world that have stolen money that their brain didn't do. The Mitchell family has no brain. From prison convicts in Australia and New South Wales came to New Zealand and brought their horrible brain here. And the Mitchell family from England came here and screwed everybody. Their money from their native land and stuck it in the Maori Land Court. And Alfred Mitchell, the brother of Eddie Mitchell, transferred the documents because I was there in their house living with them in 4 Elizabeth Street in Beerus Court, Hamilton 3200, code of that house that they did the business with. Eddie Mitchell, the father, transferred to Eddie Mitchell, the son, to Eddie Mitchell, the white man, Freemason, and in there too, a white Eddie Mitchell and a brown Eddie Mitchell Maori, mixed up in the website that I've got there with their photos in and their video of them walking to the Manor House, Manor Memorial gravestone in Manor in Hamilton, and a video of them walking together as Irish and Scottish thieves, vagabonds, and money launderers, working together in the Freemasons that Edie Mitchell has libelled every Freemason in the world. He's libelled the Freemasons and libelled every barrister, lawyer, and judge in this country and the world, in 257 countries. He libelled the whole lot of them with the biggest scam, theft of piracy on high seas in the world against the Admiralty court-martial laws of King William III of Orange, and these and on the Irish soil land that had the 8-point star of St. Patrick's Church that King William III used as a token gesture of a man that was banished from the Church of England by his father, and then he made his own St. Patrick's Church, which became a symbol of peace and love and money. So King William III used St. Patrick as an 8-point star of the Municipal Corporations Act of 1689 and the Constitution of Britain, UK, Hanover. The 10 years it took in constructing the Constitution of Westminster. In our Constitution of New Zealand is King William IV, the brother to King George IV, and the brother to King Ernest Augustus I, and their father, King George III, the founder of America, 1766, two joined up to the William the Conqueror I is 1066, year that he made the first move on making this a possibility of corporations and Municipal Corporations Act to pick up the lease on all native countries. In the world, 257 native countries. We are the lead holders and landowners, Dutch landowners, of all that information that I'm talking about tonight on this video. To you, who has the brains to put all this together? Not the Mitchell, England people. Not that family has no brains to do any of that, but thief. They are thieves that stole 17 trillion from my Dutch brain, my Tahitian brain, my Scottish brain, my Irish brain. Irish in Northern Ireland, and St. Patrick, and King William III, Battle of the Point, and that British UK Crown country, with all those corporations hiding their business there. We're going to liquidate the whole bloody lot and put it back into the British Crown and the Church of England and the St. Patrick's Church, St. Mary's Church in Tiki Tiki, where I come from, and Rangitukia, the native magistrate court, primary school in Rangitukia. That's Clinton. James Reedy Clinton put that together in 1830. The first birth certificates were registered there and registered in Heruarama and the native court there, and also in Tiki Tiki Church, and now Rahui Marae, the Wānoa Marae there. Not the Wānoas in Kaururu that got mixed up with the paedophiles and spoiled our name. And we're the only ones in Tiki Tiki with the Ravata Ka and Bishop Ka, Church of England, and Reverend Wānoa, the other Reverend of the Church of England, St. Mary's Church, to Parnell, St. Mary's Church there, and the Church of England there. That church, and the Catholics slid their church beside it and made the Queen equal to the King, which was fraudulent. And I've been watching that all the way through to make sure that they were thrown in the rubbish bin with their fraudulent Queen Victoria and her fake pound note, $1 pound note, and her family of unroyal people that were no good in business. Muslims there to run Britain, and the magistrate court, we're going to shift them back. Trump is going to deport all these immigrants from the big hole that Biden made in the border that Trump was putting up, and they just cut a hole and let the Mexican thugs come in, and all the immigrants go through the hole in the wall and corrupt the whole bloody country, and made it stupid in the head and made it worse. The economy, the whole business was going bankrupt, and they were bankrupted from Mount Eden Hill in New Zealand, and 1933 bankrupted America from here on my ancestral lands, the Manukau Moriori, my native lands. Moriori come from Taiwan and South Africa, black man, and our Tahitian come from Raiti Island and Rapa Nui, that way. The Wānoas come from there, and the Moriori Manukau's come from Africa. The pyramid and the spaceship and the extraterrestrial of that which the Vatican stole, the pyramid apex off the top, and took it into their pound note in Britain and corrupted the whole pyramid and God's creation of our families, the black Africans and their Hebrew language, and made a white Jesus, and we've got a black Jesus. Two different cultures, and spoilt and blown to bits by the Americans and the Israel people. The white man, the ones that are colonizing countries and using and abusing the Admiralty law of King William III, King William IV, King George IV, King George III, the father and his three sons, and also corrupted the Queen on her side of Catholics, corrupted the whole business of churches, Latter-day Saints Church, Mormon Church, and also the Catholic Church, corrupted and made pedophiles out of the Westminster Parliament and the political system of pedophiles and stupid women turning into men and men into women and big bulges in their balls like Jacinda Ardern, that stupid woman that was the Prime Minister, and now she's a piece of trash, gone out of business and gone into oblivion with a death bill on her head from us, 970 million trillion pound note dropped on her bloody head, and all the politicians there, including Luxton and Winston Peters and all of them in the Parliament that are turning this big fat corrupt wheel over and over and over again, and the Maoris are getting caught up in it, okay, because the Maoris have no title in Britain. It was made up in their head with the Whakaputanga flag, and the Declaration of Independence flag. It's not a money-making flag. It's not a mortgage lien debt instrument. It is something that was not given by the king as a whakaputanga or a flag for waving around and protesting with. It was given as a trade flag of banks and business, like what we're doing with COWI and Denmark, and with the submarine company, the brains of the sea and the brains of technology, and also design engineering of skilled people that know what they're doing with that bloody flag, and the British ground system of picking up the rent on the land and the birth certificates, making money on the stock market illegally, and gone and spoilt the whole of the king's royal revenue and prize possessions, and made a big mess of it, and we're unmessing them and chucking them back in the container, throw them back in the sea where they came from. Okay? Pirates on the high sea, go back into the sea. Okay, so there, that's the end of that, and that's the end of this video, and I'll get on with another 3 hours or 5 hours to bring up Jamie Dimon and his statement he made. I'll stick him to it, that Bitcoin is a hyped up fraud. And then he says, don't buy it, and then he goes and buys all those Bitcoins and got the money out of it. He's very slick on money, and I'm very slick on tidal turbine projects, and no one's ever cracked it yet. No one's cracked it yet. And the extraterrestrial they steal. They don't go and put these things in rock. Only the black people that God gave the power to, and took it away when the white man came along and corrupted it. They couldn't levitate those big rocks and make fine material cuttings out of rock and put them together, heavy big rock, to make the pyramid and the moais. And they stupid bastard white men go and make it walk and make a story up that they walked it with a rope and pulled it along. Stupid bastards. There was no fucking timber in the islands to do that. It was levitated with God's power. He took it away because the white man came along and corrupted God's law. L-O-R-E, truth. That's what we live on, truth. Tell the truth and everything works out. Tell a lie and this is what happens. War and no peace. War, killing, death, destruction, poisoning, and mutilating and murdering. This all those white people are made of in their brain. They're showing you how to be evil, and they got the evil in the church. We don't need a church, we just got a bit of stones, and you go straight up. No roof, no steeple, no cross, just straight up. Man, straight to the universe. No obstacles in the way, just a bed of stone. And you and Karakia go straight up, not in the marae, because it's blocked. It's got to go through the little door in the window to get out. And people block it. Some people come in and spoil. I've seen it. I've been on maraes. All these years, 50 years of research, how the white man came and took over the land, took over the law, took over the parliament, took over everything. Now the parliament is running the world and put Muslims in to take somebody else's country over and chuck the old people onto the road in the street. They don't look after their old people like the Japanese do. Japanese look after their old people, and their old people are fit and look after themselves and walk on steep hills without falling over and killing themselves. Okay, the white man chucks them under the bus and squashes them and steals all their money savings and make crypto, steal everything, and then wrap it up and hope to hell nobody finds out the truth about their evil ways of Israel, taking a country that didn't belong to them by using colonial laws and admiralty to abuse the shit out of it and start shooting children, innocent children, kill them and take their land and their belongings and their way of life and steal it. That's what colonialism does. It uses other people's laws to do the damage, and then they run away. So they do damage, boom, off they go, like Jacinda doing and John Key. Do the damage, do as much damage as you can, like Helen Clark, then fuck off and leave the place in the shit. Luxton's doing the same, selling the crypto. Winston Peters now is doing the same thing, selling the crypto as a fraud jab. In the shoulder they go, put the DNA in you from their graphene oxide to make you a conductor of electricity and frequency. Then they kill you with the frequency and stop you and your car from operating and smash into the back of another car. When they switch you off, they switch your heart off, and next minute a fit, normal, healthy young person drops dead in the middle of nowhere. That's these evil bastards that are running our country down in Parliament. And Dennis Paul used me to extract money from me and the Treasury of New Zealand. Why did he do that? Because he's an Englishman. I accused him of being an Englishman. He said he's not. And then he makes a write-up that he's 50% Maori and 1% English. So what does that make him? An Englishman or a Jamaican? And he's what? Just what illusions do to you. Change your way of talking and talking it up. He's using my information, my documents, my photo, my ID, my imaging as a tool to get his Maori government going. There was no such thing as Maori government in Westminster, not at all. And he's using the Declaration of Independence as a contract. He's not a contract man. He's not a contract man. None of anybody is a mortgage broker. None that have got the history that's in my brain of Dutchmen, Tahitian chiefs, Moriori, Taiwan, South African chiefs, and also Church of England, and the kings that made the law of money, the law of land, the law of courts, the law of parliament, the law of banknotes, the law of gold, the law of transferring land from native chief to the Crown of England. Now we've got our own MOAI crown that's standing in London, a memorial to the documents of Freemasons. The Freemasons owns the instrument, but the Moai crown owns the money and the equity and the land ownership. The King and Queen of Denmark are the richest people in the world because they've got the brain that put you on the land in the first place. How did you get on the land? Whose money did you use? Whose law did you use? Ask yourself those questions before you open your mouth in this court. And Moai Crown King William IV Native Magistrate Court. Don't open your mouth and say something because you'll get a pound note on your head and get booted off the land by the King and Queen of Netherlands and Dutch Zealand, New Zealand and Raiatea and Rapa Nui, East Island, founded by the Dutchmen. They didn't touch those Moai statues. The fucking Queen came along and bombed them over and took the biggest one to London and claimed it as her title to the world. The same as the Vatican and the Pope did the same thing, used and usurped and sucked on the King's authority to make money, stole all the memorials, stole the apex off the top of the pyramid, stuck it on a pound note, and used Britain to suck all the money out of Westminster, then fucked off back to Vatican and shut the Vatican City Corporation down. And they shut the City of London down and sold it as real estate and got away with all the money. Well, we're going after the whole lot. We liquidate the whole lot in the pound note. The greenback of King Ernest Augustus V, still alive. He's the monarch of our documents of the Dutchmen. He's on the Dutch French side and also on the German Hanover side and also the Crown of England and Ireland, the Corporations Act of King William III of Orange and the Battle of the Boyne and the 8 Point Star to seize all those corporations that are hiding away in Ireland, Northern Ireland, and turn them into liquid gold money and put back into Westminster and the Treasury and us, the first party, and England, sovereign people, the second party, and Westminster Parliament, second party, and the Maori government here, third party, and everything Maori and Whakaputanga, third party in a two-party contract. You can't bust our contract or interfere with it because you'll get a fucking pound note on your head and gone. We liquidate you and your bullshit Maryland court and bullshit Maori system of a Pākehā running the Maori government. Dennis Paul, Pākehā from Kaipara. I know the Paul family, Paoras. I know what they did. They were up against me and Moai Manukau, the Freemasons. We've been battling against the Paul family and all those Ngāti Whātua. Ngāti Whātua or Raki and Ngāti Whātua Ki Kaipara is not a fucking real tribe. It was made up in their fucking head. They made it up with different tribes and stuck them all together. One tribe and another tribe and stuck them together and made it into their own corporation in Wellington Parliament. And it's their own crown with their Maori Japanese fucking governor general with their own gazetted flag with the crown on her head. What fucking crown? And we're putting our crown and King and Queen of Netherlands come here and pull their fucking ass off the land and lock her up in jail. Lock them all up in jail for screwing our contract and interfering with our contract. Anybody interfering with this contract between me and Paul Golding in London is fucking in the shit. Legally and legitimately in the shit with the pound note on your head. And Paul Golding over there wants the Muslims to go home. And Trump wants the immigrants in America to go home too. And get out of the place. Because they've come and upset the way of life of the normal people of the land. They're owners of the land. Okay? The legitimate owners of the land who are the original natives. First natives are the first sovereigns. Second lot of natives that are born on the land are the second sovereigns, and so on. So you got the young ones that are the fourth, fifth, and sixth generation of sovereign people born on the land as native. So the older native surname you are, the older ownership of the land you are. You are the land owner if you're a native born on the land with your old surname from the land. It's got to be not an English name originally, as the first native is always going to be an indigenous surname, just like the American Indians surnames that were there before the immigrants come along and fucked it all up and changed everybody's life and put big homes and Kiyosaki, the Japanese American from Hawaii, is talking it up. He's got 15,000 properties and he's in the shit with us because where did he get his authority to get all that wealth from? You know where he got it from? That fucking pound note. That's rubbish and fraudulent, and everything after that was fraudulent from a 1 bar pound note that never got the royal assent from King William III of Orange. Okay, so Kiyosaki, Robert Kiyosaki, you're in the fucking shit with me, mate. You and Trump are in the fucking shit. If we go to court in the High Court, you'll fucking lose. Because you're in real estate, I'm in real estate. I know just as much as you. In fact, I know more than you as a native owner of the land and the original Freemasons in my brain. You got Freemasons on your documents as you standing on your 2 feet as your own competing witness in front of me and say something, open your fucking mouth and say how you got on the land, whose money you used, whose authority you used, whose original court record got you on the land and your wealth. Where you get it from? You can't tell me the right answer. I'm going to strip you. I'm going to strip you with the Danish King and Queen of Netherlands. Okay? That's my fucking promise to you people talking it up big mouth. You and your big mouth talking it up and saying, oh, Bitcoin is the best form of money. No, you got a corrupt fucking system with Saylor. Michael Saylor is fucking fraud. I'm telling you. He's like what Jamie Dimon is saying. A big, hyped up fraud is the Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor is fucking making money out of fraud. Pound note, fraud US dollar, fraud crypto, fraud Bitcoin, and his law is fraud. It's a one-man band show that has one law for him and one law for everybody else. The peasants have the law of not being able to buy one Bitcoin. Only the rich and famous can buy in their club of one-man band. We got our one-man band too. We're going to put a chip coin over your Bitcoin and fucking liquidate you, Michael Saylor. You're gone, mate, from the British crown and the MOAI crown that puts you on that fucking land over there. We'll put you off the land too. You go home. You go home to England and fucking wash your hands clean over there. Don't wash your hands in American Indian soil land. They're the native sovereigns that I talk to. That we are the original natives of the land, not you. You are an immigrant just like all the other immigrants. You are white, we are black. Okay, that's the difference between you and me and your big mouth. Don't fucking talk in front of me with your big mouth because we know money too. We're in the middle of the money-making machine. So if you're in the way of our contract, you go in to prison too. If you can't prove how you got on land and how you're going to stay there with your fraud money. I'm saying your fraud money and your wars. Your bank wars and your banks won't answer me. All of them won't answer me. They backed off and ran away. Even the ones in England, those companies here that are doing the crypto, they backed off and ran away from me. Even the ones in Singapore washing up the fucking debt and making it try and look clean is not answering me. They backed off and ran away. See, they'd rather shut their mouth and say fucking nothing. And you, Michael Speller, and you, Robert Kiyosaki, you better say something to me, mate, because if you don't, if you won't answer me, like that other woman, Megan Kelly, won't talk to me. She won't talk to me because she knows that I'll fucking floor her and her big mouth. Okay? Because I know what they're talking about. Even that other fella. Those people on the media talking it up. You don't know fuck all about king talk. You're trying to be a king and you can't prove that you got the king's permission to do what you want to do with his law. It's a franchise that you're running, and we're the king of the franchise of money-making machine and brains. They put it all together, and you screwed it up. You screwed it up, Megan Kelly. You screwed it up, Hillary Clinton. You screwed it up, Kiyosaki. You screwed it up, Trump. You all screwed it up and made war and tried to look good. It don't work in the MOAI, L-O-R-E, truth world. You can't tell the truth in front of MOAI because he'll pull you to bits. Chuck you in the sea where you come from. The high seas of piracy. Okay? So there. That's all. I'm going to go now because I'm talking too long. And I've said enough for now. You get the message? We're going in business big time. And don't get in the road because we're coming with a fucking big sledgehammer and a big roller. Steel legs. To run you over. If you don't tell the truth. Okay? That's how it works. Law goes both ways. You come clean hands, and show us your dirty hands, and start calling back to where you came from. Okay? So I'm going to turn the laptop off. It's gone 1 hour, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 21 minutes, 14 seconds, and the laptop and also the desktop is running as well. So I'm going to see what the time is in New York. I might go straight on to that one. Hang on, wait. I'll just check. Time in New York. 4:34 a.m. I've got another 5 hours. So I'm going to switch this video off. I'll terminate it now. The time now is New Zealand is 23:34. That's about 11:30 at night. And I'll be talking after midnight, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, to Jamie Dimon in New York. I think he's going to have a good talk with me. Okay? So that's all. I'll switch off the laptop because everybody's asleep here. I'm the only one awake. And I told Rabada I'll ring up everybody tonight and push things along because these Pākehās are holding us up. The New Zealand government is holding us up. The Bank of New Zealand, PNZ, is holding us up. And the banks in Singapore are holding us up. And the fraud, Eddie Mitchell, is getting covered up by the fraud banks because he's part of the crime that's going on in the world. He's the biggest criminal of corporations in the world. Had to be a Maori, a Freemason, and a barrister. 3 of those people, he's liable to the whole lot. Whatever I say is the fine on the head goes. Our native magistrate King's Bench Court rules over every inferior court that's not a British King's Crown Emperor. And I'm taking the Emperor's title on as the surviving members of King William III of Orange and his descendants, talking for the kings, who made the law of money, mortgages, liens, and indictment notices, and foreclosures and bankruptcy, debt instruments and turned into credit instruments, and recovery of debt. The greenback pound note 2 bar. Patterson pound note. Okay, so we'll see you later and have fun tonight with what we're saying about the Dutch founding New Zealand. Zealand. Get that in your brain, people here. Who are you to say you are Dutch founding of this country? You didn't find it otherwise. Now, turn that off. In